Let's start from the very beginning. 3 sexes: girls, boys, and ladyboys. And the only reason why you need to know the sex of the consonant letters, by the way, it's only consonants that have sex, not vowels. Vowels don't have sex. The sex of the consonants will tell you what the tone is going to be for the word. It's usually best to get to know which are the girls and which are the boys. Tones. Let me tell you what the English tones are. So there's basically 3 groups of tones, or in fact 2 groups of tones and a monotone. And then each of those have variants. We've counted 5 tones, but they're really variants of 2 tones. We've got the 2 kinds of question tones. And what I use is a go-to phrase. Now, this works for most people, and we're going to test them out on you if these are the correct go-to phrases for you. When you ask a question, you automatically do something with your voice. You have an inflection. So if I say why or how, whatever happens to your voice naturally, that is that tone. Don't think of it in terms of rising, falling, whatever it is. It's just the question tone. The way to speak in a monotone is to imagine you are a robot. I am a robot, and I must not inflect my voice in any way, because otherwise I'm not speaking in a monotone anymore. And it's very hard to keep that up. And the go-to phrase I use is, oh dear. The O part of oh dear is the regular monotone, and the dear is the sad or low monotone. Oh dear. Let's look at the words that don't have tone marks. So tone marks are like traffic signs. You have to do what the tone mark tells you to do. But when there's no tone mark, what do? Well, you have to listen to the ending sound. And the ending sound can either be a singing or continuous sound, or it can be a dead or cut off sound. These are kind of obvious, I think, right? Consonants that cannot be continued in sound. And in any case, these dead consonants, you don't really enunciate. What you do is you put your tongue and teeth in the position and you just clamp down and hold. P becomes p, and b becomes b, and s becomes s. There's no sound, but there's a kind of a pause, like the K in bookkeeper. You don't say bookkeeper, you say bookkeeper. Remember, if you combine the rule and you say that the pizza one must always end in a consonant, the pizza topping always ends in a consonant, then you'll notice that the ooh-ah words are always very short. And then the other one, which is kind of tricky, you just have to know them, and there's not that many words, there's maybe a dozen words spelt with this one. It's still the same, the really relaxed sound, but we add the little e at the end. Ye. Now, normally you'd look at this and think, oh, that must be a, but it's not a, it's just one of these sounds. And the way to recognize them is basically just to remember the words. There's no, which is butter. Löi, the very, very, very common words. Löi means something that's extreme. Chang löi, aroi löi, pang löi. Or it means to pass something. Löi tanakan, löi talat, go past something. So what you do, you basically take away the baguette and you make the sound of whatever the letter is on the top. This becomes this becomes e. And you just sort of ignore the baguette. And then you add the ah sound. So this will become plus ah. And this one becomes e and ya.